I got sent home early yesterday. I got sent home early today by the same person. I'm telling you, she's a bully. This shit isn't funny. She needs to understand that just because she's a mother and got children doesn't mean that she can come in this store, you know, disrespecting people, talking to them like everybody's beneath her. She has no respect. And it isn't funny at all. Like, seriously, man, I got shit I gotta take care of. And she keeps sending me home early. It's not funny. She's playing games. And then all day, throughout the day, she keeps sending her little racial shit. And then throughout the day, she keeps on, like, putting negative energy in the air, talking about people, gossiping about people. It's not funny, man. That shit gonna have to stop. She's a bully. I'm telling you. She's a bully. She brings a lot of negative energy in there. She always panic when there's a lot going on, and then she try to manipulate that and make it seem like we ain't doing something right, but we are working really hard and doing great. It's just the fact that she panicked, and I caught her a few times making a mistake, and she tried to hurry up and play it off. You know, nobody's perfect. It's fucking McDonald's. It happens. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes, like, somebody might get confused. So fuck, it gets busy, yeah. But she needs to stop playing like she don't be making mistakes. I be catching her. So all that animosity and shit that she keep putting in the air and stuff, and then trying to tell me, I'm always snapping on people. No, that's false. No, I don't snap on people. I don't go in there doing that. I tell her, no, I make peace. That's what I'm doing. I've been creating peace. So all that negative energy that she's bringing in there and trying to manipulate it, no, that's going to stop. All that negative shit she's saying about, you know, her personal life, all of that. No, she's bringing all of that in there and then playing games saying she want to take her belt off and beat somebody. Y'all act like my kids in here. No, we ain't your kids. Respect us. Stop talking to us like that. That shit is crazy. I'm telling you. But to get sent home 2 days in a row, man, and I came in on my off day to make up my time, and she still sends me home early, it's not funny. Somebody will have to do something about that. It's not funny. It's not fair. It isn't funny at all. So, you know, she could keep being a bully if she wants to, but that shit is going to catch up to her. Because it ain't funny at all. It ain't.
First at 5, killed on the job. A mother of 6, a McDonald's manager, stabbed to death during her shift. This is a story that has shaken our entire community.
And I'm Carolyn Clifford. Our hearts are heavy as we think about the family and friends of 39-year-old Jennifer Harris.
Loved ones left searching for answers. They tell us Jennifer was kind, hardworking, deeply loved. This tragedy started when Harris reportedly sent an employee home early, and that worker allegedly came back and attacked her.
Just hard to believe it happened at 9 Mile and Schroeder in East Point. 7 News reporter Ruta Olsanaida is speaking with the family tonight about their devastating loss and the terrifying moments that changed everything.
39-year-old Jennifer Jamma Harris went to work at this East Point McDonald's every single day to support her family, and they say she did not deserve this.
Why take our mama from us? You knew we loved each other.
It is absolute heartbreak for the family of Jennifer Harris, a 15-year employee of McDonald's and the manager here in East Point. They all gathered at the very spot she lost her life Thursday morning. Police say it was a senseless act caused by a simple argument.
There was a dispute between 2 co-workers, and one co-worker was sent home as a result of the dispute.
That co-worker, a 26-year-old East Point resident, then allegedly returned hours later with a kitchen knife and stabbed Jennifer multiple times. A customer and licensed CPL holder, noticing the violence, fired a single shot into the air to put an end to what he was seeing.
Nobody was hit by the gunshot, but it did stop the assault. The suspect dropped the knife and started running away from the location.
That Good Samaritan then detained the suspect before she could get far until police arrived and took her into custody. Jennifer was rushed to a local hospital but died due to her injuries. Neighbors say they sometimes hear arguments at this McDonald's, but never anything like this.
Goodness, I don't even know what to think, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's just sad all around. You don't want to see this.
The loving mother leaves behind her 6 children, who say they used to visit both their mom and the suspect at work, and are confused to why the violence had to escalate this far.
We would come up here. We met her co-workers. We met the lady and everything. I don't understand why she had to kill her.
We reached out to the owner of this McDonald's, who told us in part, quote, "Violence of any kind is unacceptable in my restaurants, and we are taking this matter extremely seriously." Meanwhile, the family says Jennifer will be remembered as selfless and kind, her memory never forgotten.
My mama, she woke up every day and went to work for us. My mama died trying to take care of us.
Shalom. I would like to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. I would like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you sincere Akim, pushing this word across the four corners of the world. So, as you just saw from this opening video of a young Eve out there in East Point, Michigan, and she's a McDonald's employee, and she fatally stabbed her manager, who was an Eve, by the way, at the workplace. So the young Eve, she voiced her frustration on social media, how she kept being sent home by the manager and just ultimately working around a hostile environment. And to be quite honest, like working with Eve as a supervisory role can definitely be the worst. They're very demanding, hostile, have a bad attitude, like whatever they have going on in their personal lives, they take that negative energy into the workplace, and that creates a hostile environment. Then on top of that, they be power tripping due to them being in that supervisory role. And that shows you through the spirit how a woman, who is the weaker vessel, by the way, should not be usurping authority over the man. And she should not be within that leadership role, because how the woman moves, operates, thinks, is all based on her feelings, her emotions. And you cannot be emotionally driven, especially if you're in that leadership role. And that's where the power tripping comes in. And so by Eve being into that leadership role, that's negating her out of her natural element. And the closer that we get to Yahweh's second arrival upon this earthly realm, then the more that he's allowing his left-handed rod of anger, the man of sin himself, Esau Edom, to place that economic squeeze upon the inhabitants of America. And that effect is causing more people to be irritable, more tense, more on the edge, to the point now they are tapping into demon time. And now we are seeing people crashing out at an all-time high. And I cannot express hard enough for us as the hopeful elect to tap more into that mindset of Yahweh Shai, like applying Yahweh Shai within these evil times. And that takes me right to Galatians 5:16 within NLT, and that's the New Living Translation. So I say, let the Holy Spirit guide your lives, then you won't be doing what your sinful nature craves. And we're seeing more people being mentally unbalanced and deranged, and they are not governed by walking after that standard of Yahweh Shai, which allows them to be uncivilized and tap into that lower nature. And they are making crazy crash out decisions. And I just be thinking to myself, like, people are crashing out like this right now in a so-called state of normalcy, then how much more when this American society really breaks down? When it's going to be a survival of the fittest mentality out here, like that Book of Eli times or The Road. So I say, let the Holy Spirit guide your lives, then you won't be doing what your sinful nature craves. Verse 17, the sinful nature wants to do evil, which is just the opposite of what the Spirit wants. And the Spirit gives us desires that are the opposite of what the sinful nature desires. These two forces are constantly fighting each other, so you are not free to carry out your good intentions. But when you are directed by the Spirit, you are not under obligation to the law of Moses. When you follow the desires of your sinful nature, the results are very clear. Sexual immorality, impurity, lustful pleasures, idolatry, sorcery, hostility, quarreling, jealousy, outbursts of anger. And that's the point right there. Like, by not applying Yahweh Shai, you're not going to be tapped into like having problem solving skills or conflict resolution skills, being able to regulate or manage your emotions, or just knowing how to be agreeable. As it says, agree with our adversary. And it says right here, selfish ambition, dissension, division, envy, drunkenness, wild parties, and other sins like these. Let me tell you again, as I have before, that anyone live that sort of life will not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. And that takes me right to Ephesians 5 verse 14, wherefore he said, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Yahushua shall give thee light. And that light is that spiritual knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Like being spiritually endowed by the Holy Spirit and having that spiritual awareness and to utilize discernment, and by knowing what is good and what is wrong according to the standard of Yahushua. And that's that light that was given to us, especially within these dark times, around these dark people, because these people are heavily demonic possessed. Verse 15, see then that ye walk circumspectly, which goes into by looking around, and it also goes into by being careful to consider all circumstances and possible consequences. And that's accompanied by being cautious and prudent in the spirit. What does it say within Proverbs 22:3? How a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. We hide ourselves under the shadow of the Almighty, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. So that's walking circumspectly, like applying Yahushua in your everyday lives, situations, different challenges that comes your way. And having that mindset to question yourself, like what will Yahushua do within this situation or ordeal? So again, it says, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. And again, a prudent man foreseeth the evil. A prudent man who is considered as a wise man foreseeth the evil. And we are definitely within some evil times, which goes into bad times. Verse 16, redeeming the time because the days are evil. And by redeeming the time, what does that mean for us as the hopeful elect? By using our time purposely and wisely throughout this grace period. And you can see through the spirit how these days are moving. The closer that we get to Yahushua's second arrival, this grace period is very limited. And that means that it's significant for us to pour into Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua as much as we can. Like getting all those spiritual brownie points within the cool of the day. You know, the calm before the storm. So all of these hurtful works and wicked behaviors that we're seeing being carried out throughout this earthly realm, it only signifies that Yahushua, he's on his way back. And we as the hopeful elect, that's where our trust and our hope is anchored in. So these are the signs of our times. And that takes me right to Matthew 24:3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And more so the end of an age, an empire, a kingdom, or rulership. As it stated within 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, how Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. And all of these different global occurrences and catastrophic events only highlights that it's a global shift concerning rulerships. And mind you that the disciples at this time frame were so intrigued through the spirit that they was asking Yahushua this 2,000 plus years ago. So how much more now, being those hopeful disciples in this day of time? As it stated within Matthew 13:17, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which you see and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear and have not heard them. But now we are definitely within those times. Remember, at the end, it shall speak. And this is one of those signs. Matthew 24:12. And because iniquity shall abound, which goes into how sin is being rampant on a daily basis, that's because an unwise king or the man of sin himself, Esau Edom, is into rulership. And he's not uplifting the true standard of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. And the results of that is a wild, uncivilized, chaotic, crash-out society. So, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And once you go into the word cold within the Greek, it goes into psychos, and that's where you get psychosis from, or psychotic. Like most of these people that we see on a daily basis, or we see that's within these stores that we shop at, these people be having underlying mental health conditions. And a lot of these different Americans cannot handle these economic straits and burdens And that's causing them to be more mentally unstable, unhinged, and just being total crash outs. And that's because they cannot handle reality. And that type of atmosphere of how the love of many should wax cold, that's creating like a cold world. More people are cold-hearted, they're all for themselves, and they will definitely be on that type of time if it calls for it. As they say within this day of time, on demon time. And we are witnessing these senseless acts being carried out right now in this day of time. So that behavior you saw at the beginning of this video going into this storyline only highlights Yahushua is definitely on his way back. And for Yahushua to say within the book of Luke 12:49, how he's going to come send fire upon the earth, and what will he if it be already kindled? So that means that it's going to be a lot of things going on within this earthly realm. Like literally hell on earth before Yahushua along with the angels returns. So with that, hopefully you all is edified, you all stay strong, keep pushing forward. Shalom.